Give me my take and review on it, sort of thing. After it's been updated, you know, it's gotten all of its updates. The DLCs have come out, as you can see. Blade of Galadriel, yeah. Which, you know, 100% complete, and it only took me 5 hours. And Desolation of Mordor. I didn't get a gold run, but I really messed around with it. Played a couple times, screwed around. Kind of like a roguelike take on it. And then you have the base game. I've put a decent amount of time into the main game. So, Shadow of War continues on from Shadow of Mordor. The biggest thing about this game, you know, the Nemesis system. It's a third-person action game. I guess action-adventure game. Kind of has a Batman combat system, but I would say it's a lot better than the Batman combat system. It's more visceral, it's more gruesome, not gruesome, like gory. It's more satisfying. You have a lot more diversity in what you can do. It's a fun game. Also, with the updates, they added these masks, which I guess this is a good point to show you the gear, which Shadow of Mordor had a bit of this, but not really. At least I can't even remember. Was it just your dagger and your sword? I'm pretty sure it was just your dagger and your sword or something. But it didn't have a gear system like this. I haven't played Shadow of Mordor in so long. But so in Shadow of War, you have, you know, your 6 pieces of gear. Your sword, your dagger, your ranged weapon, which is either your bow or your hammer, your main chest armor, your mask / cloak, and your ring. Well, the rune on your ring. When you get legendaries, they're part of a gear set. So at the bottom left, you see set bonus 2 out of 2, set bonus 2 out of 4. So, like a lot of RPGs, this game brought that in, and you know, brought in some build variety in terms of, you know, how you want your Talion to play. Ring Race sets focuses on summoning more or less. Horrors focuses on orcs fleeing. Machine is explosion, basically explosions. Everything just making an explosion. They have all these different things. Bright Lord is all about, you know, being the elf. So it's cool that you can build your character to kind of how you want, and it kind of has a random thing. You see, I have 2 stats. Melee damage dealt increases by 17%. 6 might gain. The second one, 6 might gain, is random. So I can get another Sword of Vengeance with a different second stat. So there's a bit of grinding to this game as well. I remember in the beginning, you know, there was a big grind for getting to max level. They also patched that and made the grind a lot less hard. The store is gone. Well, the store is not gone. Well, pretty much is gone. Actually, yeah, it is gone. Now you just have the garrison. So where you get your orcs and open chests and stuff. So the chests and everything are still here. Like, I could still open a chest and get, you know, get orcs and loot and whatever. It's a conquest chest from Duke Conquest. See, he still has the whole notification thing and syncing. So see, this is one way to get loot. This is all epic gear, so I don't really care for it. So the chests are still here and whatnot. The gear system's cool. It adds variety to it. It adds replayability. You know, if you want to make a different build. This whole gem system thing is not really necessary, but it's just something extra to do, which is fine. I don't mind it. It's not that complicated or you know, serious or anything. Do I have all the sets? Oh no, I don't. I still don't have all the pieces for all the sets. Still missing a few. So that's the gear and loot and build variety and stuff. And plus, even on I don't. In some ways, this game does look better. In some ways, Shadow of Mordor looked better. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But then again, this game, it has more. You know, Shadow of Mordor was just 2 maps. This has 4 basically. You have Nurnen, Sargost, Gorgoroth, Cirith Ungol, Minas Morgul, or however you say it. Cirith Ungol. Yeah. And then the DLC takes you to... I mean, Desolation of Mordor, I can't remember which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's this one. No, it's not that one. Well, it's this one. Oh, right, yeah, you can come here as Talion. Can you? No, you can't. Can I? I couldn't remember if you can or can't. Fast travel not available. Yeah, I guess you can't with Talion. I could have sworn you could. Anyways. It's weird. I'll have to figure that out later. But I'll touch up on that in the description or something. But yeah, the graphics are pretty good, but like even in some cases, you know, if you look at the ground here, it gets a little blurry. You know, it's not the best, it's not the most, you know, high def texture in the world. It's still fine, it's still pretty decent, but like the little crystal thing here looks good. You can see the runes on it and stuff. The lighting's pretty good. You know, the sun. Talion always looked cool to me. The fact that you actually look like a ring wraith now is fucking sick. And Batman's a fun game. But, you know, because of my gear, whenever I stealth stack someone, they go on fire. I have 50% chance to go on fire or something. This game can be more gory, but also more satisfying and fun. This game was always fun to play. The game has always been fun to play. You know, make orcs fight for you and stuff. You have your captains and everything, and the nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor. It's back, and you know, in some ways better, in some ways worse. You have different stealth attacks, and oh, and you also have this. Oh no, it's quest. You have the skill tree, pretty big skill tree. Well, not pretty big, but you know, decent size. Where you have your main skills, and then you have 3, you know, sub skills of that skill that you can choose to have active at any point. So, like Elven Light, for example, square next when your might is full, you do an AOE blast. You can choose to make it set enemies on fire, freeze them, or poison them. And, you know, that goes for every main skill. You have, you know, different things. I have it so I can oh, that's kind of a spoiler, I guess. Well, the game's been out for a long time. You know, you can raise in this game now. By the end, you can raise orcs from dead. Which I don't see why he couldn't do that before. He's a wraith, but anyways, I guess it's because anyways. So the skills are cool. It adds to the variety of how you want to play and what you want to do and how you want your Talion to play specifically. You know, combine that with the gear and different loot you have, and how you get legendaries, which is by killing certain orcs. So this guy, he's from the Beast Tribe. Or Feral Tribe, whatever it's called. Yeah. A feral tribe, yeah, feral tribe. So he's all into the, you know, beast and all that. Beast proof, bestial frenzy. Oh, he doesn't have a thing? Oh, he has Beast Slayer, but he doesn't have an animal himself. He doesn't have Ogre Call either. I mean, Grog Call or whatever. Huh. Anyways. So if I make, if there's an orc, I don't have no orcs here that are legendary. If there's an orc that's legendary and he's from a certain tribe, you go and kill that orc from that tribe. That will give you the associated gear piece, the associated legendary gear piece. So like how here it says Dark Tribe. And different classes give you different types. So like a dark Slayer orc or whatever will give you a sword, whereas a dark defender might give you armor or something. I can't remember which one drops what. But that's the whole thing when you want to go grinding for the gear. You don't really have to grind for, well, you kind of do have to grind for the gear because you gotta go find the right orcs and stuff. Make them legendary and everything. Or you just get them from the chest, bring them out into the world and then kill them. Or you just kill them in the garrison, but that's kind of boring. I bring them out into the world and just let them die. And so that's the loot end of it and how you go about obtaining it. They've also made improvements to the movement. So now you get the speed boost when you're climbing. They added double jump. I can't remember if double jump was in the first one. But it's so useful. I don't know, something else I love in this game. Well, if you see an orc, you can teleport to them, do an attack. You know, open up combat. There's stealth mechanics in this game with the bushes and stuff. So I always love how this game plays and how smooth it is and the amount of things you can do and how you can approach combat and how you want to kill dudes and just run amok. Just run amok. It's always fun. So I have my dude, so the range attack sets people on fire. If I get full might, oh yeah, I own this fortress, that's right. Hold on, I'm trying to get full might somewhere, I'll show you. I had to range attack and it freezes them. And if I get full might again, my AoE does poison. Because I have 2 gear pieces that give me 1 might per tick or something, per poison tick. When I have people poisoned and I do an AoE, I get my might back pretty fast as soon as I do my AoE. Then after that I can just do whatever. And because I have the perk that gives you might on a brutalize, as soon as I open a fight with brutalize, I pretty much have my might already, which lets me do the AoE, which builds up my might even more. Oh, look at that. I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked. Oh, and I have this mask which lets me constantly do the spectral dash, which I think is like necessary for this game. Like just straight up, I think it's just necessary. And yeah, you can also ride animals. You can ride animals. Oh. It reached by betrayal.
If you're out in this beast to scare me, You've got the wrong Uruk.
And so they comment on things and what you're doing. I always like the orcs. They're fun. Oh, look at that. Look at how useful that is. Oh, beast proof. Oh, great. He's not Talion proof though. Retreated. That's the one they're running. What? Oh god. So this is the thing that makes the Nemesis system great, is that things can just happen. Oh, he's beast proof too. That's why I don't like playing with a HUD or inspecting their weaknesses and stuff. It just makes it more dynamic and fun to me. This is the only thing. I wish the counters and stuff were a bit quicker, because frost proof. He's everything proof. So he has a poison weapon, but then again, he might not be poison. Oh yeah, he is poison proof. He's everything proof. Is he range proof? He's fireproof, but he's not range proof. And executions are always satisfying as hell. So combat's fun, and the Nemesis system makes it always pretty interesting, because hey, look at that, someone just conquered my fortress, my crappy ass fortress. Now look at his head right there. So combat's always fun. The Nemesis system still keeps things pretty fresh, you know, with orcs randomly, you know, showing up in fights, annoying you, saving you, helping you, killing you, coming back from the dead. There's multiple things that make the orcs interesting, and they have their personalities and whatnot. Oh my god. Jeez.
And he taught me about ranger tricks too.
So this is where this is the one thing I can say about the game. Like, some things don't flow too well. Like, he was just here, I was just fighting him, then his blood brother came and saved him, and he ran away. It would have been better if he noticed his blood brother helping him and came to help, and then I killed his blood brother, and then, you know, mid combat he's like, oh shit, you killed him, whatever, and then, you know, got enraged and started attacking me even more. There's multiple ways they can do things, but well, can't do it anymore. This game's pretty sure not getting updated anymore, like at all. I'm pretty sure this is it. So I got my might back, even though I could let him go, but and he wasn't invulnerable to stealth either. So the other great thing about this game is that you can take over fortresses. Each map has its fortress, and you can either, if I go up to that icon there, the little castle icon at the top right, I can defend the fortress, or if an army takes over the fortress, I can, you know, get my army and attack the fortress. And this whole thing, which is always fun. It's always cool to attack a fortress or defend the fortress. I think it's more fun to attack the fortress. Do I have one that's taken? No, I don't think I have one that's taken. Oh, that's really cool. You can see the eye here, which is also a spoiler because this only shows up at the end of the game, I'm pretty sure. But still, you know, that's really cool. I know a lot of people aren't gonna like the lore. Well, people might like lore, but hardcore Lord of the Rings fans won't like it that much because it screws with the lore and you know, goes against a lot of things in the books and the movies and whatnot. But I don't really mind. Like, they wanted to tell a story, and like, I would assume they wanted the story to kind of make sense in terms of what you can do with the gameplay and stuff, so I don't really mind it. I think it's cool that you're half wraith and whatever. I guess that's a spoiler too. Fuck. I'll just put spoilers at the beginning. But this game's been out for a while, so fuck. But anyways, I wish you could have a skin where you just brought the elf back too, just to have his voice lines and everything. Because one thing I gotta go against this game is that in the end game, there's some things that are great. You know, the conquering fortresses and all that. But what's not great is there's no new game plus. There's no way to take my, you know, fully upgraded Talion and play through all the missions again. You can play through some of the missions. So if I go here, I can replay some of them. I would say like Fellowship. I can't replay. Eye of the Sauron, I can't replay. Shadow of the I can't replay. The Seeing Stone, I can replay. This I can replay. Like, there's some things you can replay and there's some things you can't. But it would have been really cool if I could just bring my upgrade Talion with the gear and just play through New Game Plus. Like, I don't see why it's such an issue. You don't have to bring in all my loot and everything. Just bring in my Talion as he is right now, with all the upgrades, and then, you know, we're good. But they don't. They never patch that in. They never gave you the option to, which sucks. I don't even think you can make a second save. Or maybe you can make a second save or something. But no New Game Plus, which sucks. Which really sucks. Would have been a great game for it. Oh, look at that. His foot's through the ground. So, actually, maybe I'll do a conquest while. I'll probably get my ass kicked in a conquest, but whatever. So combat is varied and fun. The maps are varied and well done. The map also has a lot more. Actually, I wouldn't say the map. The game has a lot more verticality to it than Mordor did. Now this is the online type mode where you can attack people's other fortresses, and you choose your captains basically. So you see I'm missing one here, so I can go in here and choose someone. Sure, let's bring him in. And then you choose which upgrades you want to, you know, take them with, just like the skill tree. So I can choose to bring in Olag High, Mounted Cavalry, or Sappers. Oh, I'll bring in Olag High. Defenders, Berserkers, or Savages, and Hunters. I'll bring in... Defenders. Poison, Wild Drake, Wargrog, Shelob's Brood. The Drake seems to die pretty fast when you bring it in, so you know what? Unless you take control of it. Same with the Grog, so I'll just go with... I'll try Shelob's Brood. I haven't really tried Shelob's Brood. Yeah, I like the Fire Archers. Yeah, and that, if you have captains and are doing fine, you don't need this. So I just use the banners. So let's do that. Let's see what a siege looks like. The other thing too, that I hate, in online sieges, they remove the like the speeches or the siege lines they would say, you know, before you start a siege, that like 2 or 3 orcs would say. And what the overlord, the fortress's overlord would say, because the overlord would come out, make a big speech, and then it would cut to your captains, you know, talk about your shit to him, and then Talion would be like, all right, let's go, let's charge, and then the siege starts. In online sieges, that isn't there, which which is really a missed opportunity. It should have been there for online sieges. I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, it gets annoying or boring. I mean, I prefer that over just hearing every time. You know what I mean? Like, it still adds more variety than what it has now. So I don't know what the big deal about it is. So first thing I always do is take those out. Oh, I can't, oh, Shadow Mount. So here, see, I broke him, so now I can take his shit over. I can use them. Oh, there's some enemy captains there. Let's kill them. Let's see if that helps at least. Yeah, those things die kind of weird. I don't know why. Try to help out my people a bit. He's retreating. My captain sucks. Oh no, that's his captain. I don't know whose captain that is. So now my captains are showing up. So this is why I like the siege. It's just a big huge battle. It's just a big huge battle of shit going on with your captains and enemy captains doing your thing. Fear of execution. And you just go through the castle, or whichever fortress, you know, you chose on the map. You capture the points, and you eventually fight the Overlord. Oh, you poison to death. Oh, look at the spider flying. So this is cool, and the audio is nice, and it really feels like, you know, you're just in this big battle, which is awesome. Even here, like, do I even really have to do anything? I kind of don't. And my people captured it, and I'm here too, so I'm helping. So we just keep going. And this is more or less, this is, I guess, endgame of Shadow of War, is getting to max level, getting your gear set up, and then just going to town on fortresses. Oh, your fortress is firing up there. I don't know how they're killing each other, but I'm fine with it. My captain just killed his. It's a pretty low level fortress. That's because my rating isn't high. So you're ranked based on how fast you get through the fortresses and how many fortresses you take over and all that. There's another captain dead. Oh, look at that, I leveled up. So stealth attacks can really help you in this game if you're having trouble with the fighting. I also usually always forget about the resurrect and the glaive. But you have a lot of ways to attack stuff. It's just fun. And as you can see, it's just pure fucking chaos. I don't know why your staff has to damage your allies too. Or maybe it doesn't, just knocks them down. But I find it dumb that it does that. There's another gate we gotta take. My guys can't get through. More siege beasts. But like, I love this. Can't do this in Batman. You know, stuff like this is so cool. At least to me, has always been so cool. Like how he's able to do this. Oh, one of my captains got in there. Look at that. But this is endgame of Shadow of War. This is just what it is. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't mind this for what it is. I think it's really cool. I wish it had New Game Plus, because the story is actually pretty decent. It's pretty long. I'd say like, I don't know, 15-20 hours. If you know, get caught up in some of the side stuff as well, the side missions, challenges, shit like that. Messing around with the Nemesis system, getting your gear, everything. There's some different things. But I really wish I had New Game Plus. I really wish I had New Game Plus. But I'm glad you can still replay some missions. And the graphics are great, the sound is well done, the voice acting is good, the motion capture is good. There's a lot of variety to the orcs. There's a lot of variety to your builds. The environments are more varied now. The combat is more varied. You're not as overpowered as Shadow of Mordor, but you're still pretty overpowered depending on how you spec your dude. I think my dude is pretty decent. Like an all-around decent character, you know, designed to handle like almost any situation.
So, the little Tark has managed to make it to my throne room. If it's a fight you're looking for, it's a fight you'll get. Just remember, you wanted this.
Funny, I was going to say the same thing to you.
So see, they kept that speech, but you don't have the ones at the beginning, and I don't think he has a speech at the end after you take the fortress, because I might still die here. Which really sucks, man. That was, you know, that's one part I really loved about this game, was that it was really changing. It really just added to the Nemesis system and what different orcs could be like and stuff. Whereas now it's still great. I still love the option, but it's just a missed opportunity. It's just a huge missed opportunity that could have been a lot better. But see, because I have fire on my sword and poison on my AoE, if I land both, it turns into balefire, not just regular fire and poison. Which is a neat little touch. I like that. It's taking me a lot to build my poison. What the hell? Oh, probably because I have a perk on every time I miss, I lose my might. That'll probably be it. Yeah, I forgot I could do that as well. That's an endgame thing. So, you know, this is why I love this game. It's very varied and open world, and the combat's unique. It's a fun game to always just, you know, come back and just screw around in. So it's always fun to play. Oh, he's trying to heal. You know, you can, unless you played this game a lot, you can improve your game quite a bit. I mean, improve your character.
No, I won't go down.
He has second chance, so that's great. Or death defying. So he got full health again, which is, oh my god, lovely. Which is always a fun thing. And this is why I love this. Because it surprises you. You know, there's some things you don't expect. Now that he's broken, I can take him. And, you know, do whatever I want. Oh shit. And then you take the fortress. Remember, this was an online fortress. The campaign, you go through and take fortresses through the campaign and stuff. It's more of a story thing in the campaign. I'm still glad this is in the end game. But see, yeah, no speech. He always had a speech. I know that could have been annoying, but you know, they could just add an option to just skip the speech. but you don't know why it's not there. It really added to you know, taking the fortress. So I got a gold because I took it in a decent time. My rank went up a bit. I leveled up. Got a bunch of gear, loot. And I got a conquest chest, which will give me more loot. So, it's fun to do. It's fun to play. It's fun to go through. It's fun to rank up. You know, all this stuff. They have the orc fight pits, which the AI sucks, but it's just something to do, to watch, you know, while you're just fucking around. You're playing the game, you're like, oh, I want to take a break. Alright, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna watch my orcs fight each other for like 15 minutes, eat your food. You know, answer some text, whatever, and start playing the game again. So, graphics are good. Somewhat of a step down in some ways, but a step up in others in terms of variety, in terms of verticality, in terms of like, you know, you have snow, you have the lava type area, you have this forest area. The fortresses are cool. The weapon design and the gear looks cool and actually looks different. There's some reskins, but it still looks pretty cool. Hey, Millie. Oh, you see more orcs fighting there. My blue orcs are friendly orcs, red orcs are, you know, enemy orcs. So we also have sound. Sound is good. I think sound is well done. Not the most amazing thing, but I think it's well done. I think it serves its purpose. I think it's pretty good. The story's not great. It could have been better. I like that there's actual boss fights now with the wraiths, and they feel like actual boss fights with the Balrog and everything as well. Yeah, I know it's not, you know, how the hell does he fight a Balrog? Whatever, I don't care. It's a game. It's fun. I loved it. So the story's pretty cool. Not the most amazing story, but it's a pretty decent story. It's a good story. The cutscenes are really good. It has a I assume it has the Xbox One X, you know, performance mode. It does on the PlayStation 4 Pro, which it increases render distance and everything if you don't want to run it in 4K. Which that's how I have it running as a field of view slider now, which I think they patched in. The HUD is pretty customizable, although I wish they let you view your mission objective just like somewhere in the screen right here, just like right beside Army and Quest. Just have a little box saying what your mission objective is, instead of me having to turn on my HUD when I do a Vendetta mission or some shit. Just little quality of life things that they're missing that I feel like should have been put in the game to make the game much better, but I don't know, it's not there. Movement has been improved. You know, how you move around is a lot more quicker now. It's more freeing, I guess, and quicker, and just gets you to where you want to go faster. It has stealth options in this game if you want to build your character around that. You know, just attacking, explosions, fire, poison, freeze, wrath, reviving undead, followers. You know, the Nemesis system is still great. Could have been a bit better, but it's still pretty good. It's something's missing from Shadow of Mordor that I wish they implemented in this as well. Like taking my Overlord and sending him against other captains to level him up and stuff, or having that more orc to orc interaction. But it's still here in a decent amount. But the interaction is more about you and the sieges than you know, just orc to orc. But some of that is also lost in the end game because you kind of miss out on some of the speeches and everything. So it's kind of hit or miss in some ways. Overall, I still think it's a good game. I still think it's a great game. You know, that they added in Drakes and everything. Not drinks, Drakes. I don't know what else I can say. The graphics are good. Pretty good. Not great, but good. They serve a purpose. Gameplay is great. Like, I think it's one of the most fun open worlds to play, pretty much, this power fantasy type thing. It has variety, so it has replayability. The story mode's pretty long. I'd say 15-20 hours, depending on how mixed up you get in with the side stuff. Maybe a bit less. But it's kind of hard to not get mixed up with the side stuff. And see, like, you just see random things like that happening, which is just fun. Your captains are cool. I can't remember what I have mine down as a captain, or guards, or what. Okay, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just spiders. I don't know. I don't know what I have as my summon. Maybe it's a follower that I don't have. I haven't assigned yet. But you can assign a captain as your follower, who you can summon at any time to, you know, help you out. You're like, you know, your personal bodyguard. So needs the sieges. Vendetta missions are just a mission where you go and kill a captain who's killed another player. You know, kind of like a pseudo online thing. It's pretty cool, but you know, not that, you know, not that special, not that amazing. But the fortresses are always cool to look at, and, you know, depending on which orc you set as overlord, that changes the look of the fortress a bit, which is nice. And I'm pretty sure it also affects which orcs show up in the region. So if you want to farm for dark tribe gear, or feral gear, or you know, whatever machine gear, you'd probably set a machine orc to the fortress. So overall, I don't know. And the DLCs, Blade of Galadriel. Blade of Galadriel is a continuation of the story, and it is pretty. It's pretty necessary to the story. It is pretty essential to the story. Not completely essential, but it's pretty important. But it is really short. And Galadriel, she's okay to play, but I don't know. I just find Talion much more fun to play. She just made the game much too easy, and I don't know, I just didn't find it that much fun to play. I don't know why. I don't know. And Desolation of Mordor, good concept. Great concept. It's a fun roguelike, you know, take on it. I don't like the fact that you know, again, it's not Talion. It's another dude who's fine. He's a cool character, and his brother's cool and all. But I just wanted more Talion. More Talion, more of the Ringwraith, more of Celebrimbor and stuff, and we don't get that, which I was disappointed in. I really was, because even to today, Desolation of Mordor it's okay, but I don't really go back and play it. What I like coming back to is Talion, is the fortresses, is you know, the Nemesis system and all that. And the roguelite is more about what gear you get, more so than working in the Nemesis system and the orcs you meet and stuff. So it kind of loses a bit of its luster. Also, I look at some of man, I keep forgetting his name. The guy in Desolation of Mordor. Some of his abilities are nuts. That make me wonder, like, why the hell doesn't Talion have some of these things, man? Like, it's insane. But I still love playing Talion. I still love the way he is. I still love that when you die, he still makes comments and stuff. Like, oh, you know, one death will not stop me from keeping Mordor at bay, or whatever. I wish there was still more dialogue, but yeah, I know that's money with voice acting and everything. They have a lot of dialogue here already, and, you know, it's kind of, you get to the end game and spoilers, you lose Celebrimbor, and you know, that whole section of the game where you're hearing him over and over again, it's gone. So, you know, you lose all that. You lose this, and I think it's just because the way that they made this game in a certain state, where when you hit end game, there's a certain state that you just can't access certain parts of the game anymore because of, I don't know, maybe the way they programmed it. Oh, its feet look weird for a second there. It really sucks. It really... Oh, look at that. His feet are floating if you stand a certain way. But then again, in today's world, man, what other Lord of the Rings game can I play? Like, seriously, what other Lord of the Rings game, or a game in general, really, that I can do all these things, have this experience, take fortresses, you know, befriend orcs, kill orcs, You know, have the whole interaction with the Nemesis system. Graphics decent. Um, you know, 4 to 5 different environments depending on if you get the DLC or not. The animals, there aren't that much animals. There's the Caragors, the Drakes, the Grogs, the spiders, the ghouls. I wouldn't count the Balrog because that's a story thing. And yeah, they have different elements. Kind of sad the Nazgul or whatever they're called aren't in it. The I'm pretty. Are they called Nazgul? I can't even remember. But they're just, you know, there's just Drakes. There's not the with like the Lich King rides and stuff. Not Lich King, Witch King. But yeah, it takes a lot of steps forward, a couple steps back, because Mordor did have some things that this game doesn't have that it did better, and for some ways Mordor did look better. I don't know why, I don't know how. Maybe it's because of the scale of the game, but Mordor did look better in some instances. It's weird. So even though I have Shadow of War, there's still some times where I just kind of want to go back and play Shadow of Mordor. Because Shadow of Mordor was a straight up power fantasy. It was a straight up power fantasy. You could, oh my god. If they put Shadow of Mordor Talion in this, where you're just building twice the amount of might, like just by like hitting your sword right and shit. Oh my god, you could one-man an army in this game if you had Shadow of Mordor Talion. Whereas this one is more centered around, you know, how you build your Talion is how you make him powerful. So you can make him powerful, but you make him powerful in poison, or in fire, or in explosions, or in ranged attacks, or in your Wraith ability, or in summoning undead, or you know, whatever. So it's kind of a different take, and I kind of just wish they had both takes in the game, which would just let you, you know, choose a skin. Like I don't know why you can't just choose a skin. Where do you even change skins? Oh yeah, their character. So if I press R1, you know, I can change the skins. I don't know why it's, oh, download skin, that's why. So, you know, even if I equip this skin with Celebrimbor, he still doesn't have the dialogue. So that really sucks. I wanted to see if I could download the skin. I have to download the whole expansion. I don't have the expansions installed. I just have the orc expansions installed. But I guess I should install those. And yeah, I got a skill point. And they added this thing to these prestige points that give you a bonus to certain things. Yeah, I have 3.6 health recovery per kill right now. Wrath per kill. Mount damage. I went into might because might is just like, that's how you do all your shit. I'm at level 73. I think the max is 80. So shit, man. Like I don't know. I wanted to put one in all of them, so at least I'm getting a bit of bonus from everything. But man, like, it's end game. Like, you're in the end game. I don't know why you just don't let me be like fucking OP. Like, I'm in the end game. And let me just up the difficulty, because this game does have difficulty settings, which the difficulty settings in this game, because of the way combat works, I don't like the difficulty settings. I'd go like one difficulty up to Nemesis or whatever, but I was like just screwed up again. But the really hard difficulty settings where you just get like 1 or 2 shot and stuff, I don't find that fun. And you're just wailing on a captain for so long, doing the same attack over and over because he's immune to pretty much all the shit. I don't find that fun. So I play on normal to hard and play with no HUD, and you know I just like to be surprised and stuff. I think this is the way you should play the game. No HUD. Don't look at their weaknesses and stuff and just exploit it. Just like, oh, okay, I know the hard counter to this orc now. Let me just exploit it. I think it's better if you know figure it out in the middle of combat. I think the game's just more fun that way. You know, you still get intel and stuff, find out where they are and everything. But still a fun game to run around, play around, do things in. I want to give it a 9, but because it falls a bit in a few ways, in a few quality of life things, and it's kind of missing some things from Shadow of Mordor, which really makes me sad. I'd give this game like an 8.5, almost a 9. It's not a 10. It's not. It's almost a 9, but I wouldn't say it's lower than an 8. And since it's still a very well done game, like overall, altogether, it has online components. It has a decent. Actually, I'd say pretty good long campaign. It has a lot of side stuff. It has an end game. It has replayability. It has variety. It has loot to collect. It has a lot of depth with the Nemesis system and the enemies you fight. It has the conquest system with the fortresses, which is, you know, a good thing to just always have and come back and do. You have a variety of environments. Graphics always look decent. The controls are well done. The combat to me is the most fun when it comes to these types of, you know, Batman combat type games. I think Shadow of Mordor / War does it the best. Spider-Man is pretty good. I say this and Spider-Man are pretty much tied, but this has more variety. Spider-Man is more just, you know, combo heavy. This game is more varied in terms of stealth and you know, riding animals and the combat options you have there and stuff. You know, the fact that I can be fighting on the ground, see a drake flying in the sky, dominate it from the ground, you know, just teleport to it, dominate it, shoot some fireballs, eat a guy, jump off, mid-air slowdown time, throw a couple hammers, you know, blow up a grog barrel or whatever, teleport to the next dude still in mid-air, you know, kill him, have my wraith chain that to a couple other dudes, and you know, keep going. Like there's just a lot of shit you can do in this game. There's so much freedom. Like, you know, like I want to shoot that guy, sure. I want to take that guy out. I thought it would give me a might. I guess not. I don't know why my cat's meowing like crazy. Probably sees an insect or something. She usually does that. But anyways, it's a fun game. Oh, I forgot you can throw daggers too. I always forget about that. See, there's so many things you can do in this game that I forget about them. I literally just forget about them. Oh, the glaive. Ooh. That's supposed to give me might. Oh yeah, it did. And then I raise him back from the dead. And that'll actually cause people to flee sometimes when I raise him from the dead. Oh, you see the Olog's running now. Oh no, he's not running, he's just fighting. Sometimes they'll run. But depending on the gear too, you know, that'll increase your chances of making people run when you raise dead and stuff. So it's an overall great game. If you like Lord of the Rings game, if you like open world screwing around games. Can't I attack you? If you like the combat, if you want a story mode, if you want a good single player game, like, you can't go wrong with Shadow of War. The DLCs, I'd say just get the base game. If you really, really, really like the game and you really want more, then get the DLCs. But like if you see the definitive edition for you know, not much more expensive than the base game, then sure. But DLCs to me aren't that really worth it. And I haven't even really run into the Slaughter Tribe or Marauder Tribe or whatever it is. I haven't really run into them, so I don't know. I don't know what they've added really. But anyways, that's Shadow War. I'd say I'd give it an 8.5. almost a 9. Almost a 9. A few things holding it back. And a few things, you know, they could have did a bit more to make it, you know, a great, fucking amazing fucking game. It would have gotten a higher score if you know, people reviewed it as it is right now, with the Blade of Galadriel expansion, which, you know, is part of the story, and with the quality of life updates they added in, which really helped it. But yeah, Shadow War, I guess 8.5. I don't like giving games numbers though. If you like Lord of the Rings, play this game. If you like the Batman open world combat type games, play this game. If you like a power fantasy type game, play this game. If you want a single player game that lasts, like, yeah, it just gives you a lot to do, play this game. If you want a game that's just fun, play this game. If you want a super insane story like God of War, this will not give you that. It'll be a decent story, but not God of War level or something like that. Like, you know, comparing it to something like God of War's combat to me is more fun. It's more refined and tight. But I can't really compare the two because they're different. They're just different. But most games I've seen that have combat styles like this, I think this one does it the best. Still. So, that's Shadow War. Let me know what you guys think, because I don't know, I still come back and I still always love playing this game. I always do. Yeah, no, I'm still not really tired of it. It's still a game I just always love coming back to play every now and again, which to me is a sign that it's a really good game. When I just, you know, I'm just like, you know what, man, I kind of want to play some Shadow War. I kind of just want to go around and murk some orcs and, you know, kill a captain or two, hear them talk some shit, and, you know, I'm good. It's fun. It's nice. If it had New Game Plus, I'd play it way more. I'd play it way fucking more. But it doesn't. I don't know what happened. Monolith, I don't know what happened. But Shadow War, man. And I'm glad the sword is gone. The sword was just it didn't need to be in the game. I don't know why it's in the game in the first place, but whatever. They wanted to milk money. It didn't work out too well. There you go. Oh, and I like that you can see your status for your online thing. You know, so you can see my overall rating and see a kind of history of, you know, people taking over your fortresses and you taking over theirs. And oh, jeez, really? Did I do it all in Nirn? Oh, maybe it reset at some point or something, because I haven't played in a while. But anyways, yeah, they let you replay some story missions, which is fine. They have all this. They have the lore for everything, which, like I said, in Neo, every game should have. Like, every game should just have this. Don't know why it doesn't. Don't know why this is at 85% either. What? Why is this at 85%? Okay, anyways. They have a lot of option settings, which is really good. You know, field of view. They have a photo mode, difficulty. A lot of options with customizing the UI, which, you know, I change a lot as well. This is the graphics mode on. I'm playing on Pro, so favorite resolution, favorite quality. I choose quality because I don't play on a 4K TV. Sound, controller settings. Can you change controls? No, you can't change controls. You can only view them. So, yeah. That's a View Hydra ID. Hydra. Oh man, look at that. Look who Monolith hails to. I'm just kidding. What? Guide. Oh, yeah, and just teach you how to play and stuff. Which all games should also have, you know. If you're like, oh man, how do I do this again? Man, I haven't played this game in a while. Like, how do I do this again? Hey, look, just, you know, come to the guide and then look, it tells you everything. Wow, why don't more games have this? Anyways, overall great game. Overall great game. If you don't like Lord of the Rings and the whole medieval thing, and you don't like getting loot and stuff, you know, you might be thrown off from this. But I still think it's a pretty decent game. It's a game worth playing. But Shadow of War.